top that.
Questions for Coach? First question right here. Second row.
Ann Killian with the San Francisco Chronicle. Steve, can you just talk about what it was like for you to be out there early on? You were kind of looking up at the stands. Did it feel different? Did it make you appreciate it more?
It felt great. Got a really nice reception from our fans and our players, and it was just great to be on the sidelines again. That's what makes it so much fun, to feel the energy of the finals, and so it's really nice to be back.
Next question, second row. Go ahead.
Art Spander, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, I just wonder, Clay's been struggling a little bit. You know his game. Did you work any plays or anything for him specially tonight?
No. We I think I mentioned pregame. Clay played so well in game one without shooting well, and to me that usually indicates that the ball's going to go in. His defense was tremendous in game one. His ball handling, his passing. I thought he played a great game, and I just felt like he was poised to come out and make some shots tonight, and he did. And his defense again was tremendous. I thought Clay, he guards so many people out there, and he has such a responsibility with Kyrie and switching on to LeBron, and I thought he was fantastic.
Janie, all the way in the back.
Steve, Janie McCauley from AP. What was it like to witness up close and personal Steph dribbling around LeBron and going in to the paint and scoring in the third quarter, and also Kevin flicked one up at one point off balance? I mean, pretty special to see those again.
The talent on the floor in this series is just unbelievable. Obviously with Steph and KD and Clay and Draymond, but trying to stop LeBron and Kyrie. Kevin Love was tremendous tonight. It really is a series that's just loaded with high-powered weapons all over the floor. And the game changed quite a bit tonight from game one. They made a lot of adjustments. They put us on our heels, and we were able to respond.
Tim on the aisle over here.
Kawakami, Mercury News. Steve, you're especially appreciative that they decided to turn the ball over 13 times in the first half in your return game here.
Welcome back, Coach. Yeah.
Good coaching on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the focus the last 2 days is, can we repeat the formula? The answer was no. We did not repeat it. Tonight was a game based on talent. We had a lot of guys who played exceptionally well individually, and we played with great energy. But heading to Cleveland, we're going to have to be a lot smarter. We played that same game in Cleveland. There's no way we win.
And you mentioned the adjustments. This really was a chess match kind of game, at least through the first three quarters. They go small, you go small. Durant was playing center for some. Yeah. Was that kind of fun for you, though, to just immerse yourself in that kind of strategic back and forth?
Yeah, it's always fun. When you've got to make a lot of decisions out there, and obviously we're blessed with a very versatile roster, so we have options just like they do, but they really changed a lot from game one, and we had to respond to that. And in the midst of that, Draymond was in foul trouble, and so that made it trickier. But again, our guys responded really well.
Second row on your right, Coach.
Yes, Steve, welcome back. Dave Lewis, NBC News Radio. Kevin once again had a big offensive game, but maybe beneath the radar for those that don't really get into as much of the defensive part of it. He had 5 years, 7 blocks. I think the one that would have put him away was the jump hook on Love. He ended up hitting a runner at the other end to finish him off. Talk about Kevin just as a defensive player.
His defense was amazing, and we needed it, especially with Draymond out. It's a small game, and you got shooters everywhere, and you have to be able to protect the rim with LeBron coming downhill, with Love posting up, and Draymond's on the bench. So that's a pretty scary proposition for us. And I thought Kevin's defense was unreal, and was probably the key to the whole game. Along with the perimeter defense of Clay and Andre, trying to do their best with Kyrie and LeBron. But KD was amazing.
Marcus towards the center.
Marcus Thompson, Barry News Group. Steve,
Where are you, Marcus?
Right in the middle, straight ahead in your line of sight. Right in. Steph didn't look very well in the second quarter. Third quarter, he kind of changed the game.
Yeah.
What is it about when Steph goes off that really gives you guys some separation?
Well, I mean, he just generates so much force to the game. You know, he even when he's not making shots, he's bringing defenders all the way out to the perimeter, which opens up so much. He pushes the ball relentlessly, and obviously got going there in the third after a poor first half. But you know, he changes the game just by being himself and being out there and attacking.
What do you think of the narrative that he doesn't play well in the finals?
Whose narrative is that?
I just made it up.
Oh, okay. Well, write your story and email it to me, and I'll critique it.
Got you.
Steve towards the center, and then Al in the back.
Steve Futterman here from CBS News, straight back next to Mark. I want to ask you, historically, if you can take a step back, you know this team is making history every time it wins. It is a remarkable thing that they have done so far. I know you don't care until you win the championship, but can you maybe take a step back and talk about the remarkable achievement this team has done just by getting to this point without losing once?
Well, it's been a great run, but none of that matters unless we can finish, the job with this series. And we know, trust me, we know. It was 2-0 last year and we lost. So playing an unbelievably good competitive team, dominant team. They have, 2-3 losses the whole playoffs. Now we got to go back there. This is where the series changed last year. So we're just trying to think about the next game.
Al, last question, back right.
Al Sarasovic, San Francisco Chronicle. Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you.
LeBron James, amazing night tonight. Can you talk a little bit about his play and what you may be able to do in Cleveland to try to stop him?
Oh, we've got a plan in Cleveland. We're going to shut him down. We got this great plan that for sure is going to just completely stop him. I don't know what you do with him. He's one of the great players of all time. We all know that. I think he's playing better than he's ever played, and you just do your best. You kind of know that he's going to dominate the game, and you try to do. There's certain spots on the floor that we have rules, and you try to give that stuff to the players, but they just got to do their best and see what happens.
Is it really more about limiting his teammates then?
Well, I mean, I was pleased with our three-point defense, and that's important. This team really thrives on making threes, and we held them to 8 for 29, and that was key. But they went smaller. They had shooters all over the floor. They didn't play their two bigs together that often, which opened up the game. And LeBron was so determined to get downhill to the rim right from the beginning. You could see the force that he brought to the game. And when he's like that, not a whole lot you can do. All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
Take questions for Coach. Nate, first question in the back on the right side.
Coach, when Draymond Green got in foul trouble in the third quarter, you went to Channing Frye. They then went with KD at center. Do you think that was a key portion of the game, and how do you think it went from that point forward?
No, it wasn't the key. I mean, we got Channing right out. I mean, because he had a bad matchup. So they did it last year also. So whenever we put Channing on the floor, they went small and went to the death lineup. So when we saw that, we had to get Channing out. We had to make an adjustment ourselves.
Dave over here on the left.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Even though this is the third time you're playing the Warriors in the finals, it's the first time with Durant. And just, can you describe how different of a matchup it is? And are you still even learning this matchup, considering it's only the fourth game you played against them with Durant?
Was different, and they give him a lot of space and a lot of room to operate. You have Clay and Steph on the backside, and he has the ball in his hands. And the way Draymond's been shooting the basketball, so he plays well off those guys, and they play well off of him also. A lot of things you can't do defensively, by having KD on the floor. So they make it tough, and they put you in some tough situations. But, we got to be better as far as not relaxing, not falling asleep, the loose balls, 50-50 balls. We got to get to those. And when you don't get to them, they make you pay. Every mistake you make defensively, they make you pay. And you saw that tonight.
Robert?
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. Can you talk a little bit about Tristan Thompson? He last two finals dominated a lot on the offensive glass, only has 8 boards in the first 2 games. Is it something that you're seeing that's different with this finals, and how you think you can get him going?
No, they're doing a good job of trying to keep him off the glass, and at times we're down, and they are playing well defensively, so we decided to go smaller and kind of open the floor up and space the floor, which was good for us for about 3 quarters or 2 quarters and a half. So nothing Tristan's done. It's just basically just trying to get more scoring on the floor, more shooting, because they try to load up and help so much.
Second row on your right, Coach.
Yes, Coach. Dave Lewis, NBC News Radio. Statistically, obviously, it doesn't look great moving forward, but you've done it before. Coming back last year, does that give you some encouragement to know that it is possible, despite what it looks like statistically for you?
Well, they play well at home. I mean, they won their first 2 games like they're supposed to. Coming to a tough environment, we knew it was going to be tough, but they won their first 2 games. We get a chance to go home now to our home crowd, where we play well also. So they won 2 games. Now we got to go home and regroup.
Any other questions for Coach? Dave again here. Go ahead.
Ty, what have you made of Kyrie's first 2 games of the series?
What do you mean?
He seemed to be building through the Eastern Conference Finals, playing some of his best ball of the season, and his numbers haven't looked the same. I just wanted to know how you feel like he's playing in the series so far.
Well, I mean, defensively now he has to do a lot more, and running around with Steph and chasing Clay and chasing Steph and constantly having to be on alert. It takes a lot out of you offensively. But I think he's doing a good job trying to play with pace, pushing the basketball, and scoring the basketball for Kyrie is not a big deal. So he'll get on track as far as scoring the basketball.
Last question, next row back.
Coach, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. If you would point a single aspect of your game you need to improve to win Game 3, what would be?
Defensively, I think having awareness, can't relax, can't fall asleep. This team, their offense is constant movement, so you got to be locked in. You can't take a peek somewhere and lose your man. So they make you pay, and they have a lot of guys who can shoot the basketball. Have a lot of guys who are great passers. So you got to be alert at all times.
Thank you, Coach.